Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Ricky with TechBud Solutions. I hope that you guys are all having an amazing Wednesday. So today it is August 23rd and Nvidia stock is going to be reporting earnings. So this should be in the next few minutes. There's about 3 minutes left until the market closes. A lot of you guys know that Nvidia is set to report earnings after the market closes, so it should be a lot of fun, and I'm excited to catch the market's reaction to this. We should all know that Nvidia stock sits at a $1.16 trillion market cap. It's one of the most valuable companies that's publicly traded, and one of the main reasons that it jumped up so much is based off of its previous quarterly earnings. It announced its main focus with its semiconductor chips with AI. Because of this, it jumped up, I think, 20 or 25% within 2 or 4 days, and became, again, one of the few companies that has a $1 trillion market cap. Now, will it keep this market cap is the question, based off of what current analysts are expecting Nvidia stock to report. Very quickly, again, we have less than 3 minutes left before the market closes and Nvidia stock to announce earnings. So again, August 23rd, 2023, the market's expectation, let's just compare the two. 92 cents was the previous quarterly earnings per share expectation, and we came in now with an expectation for this quarterly earnings at $2.07, so twice as much, right? When it comes down to revenue, our previous expectation was $6.5 billion. Our now new expectation for today is $11.13 billion. Future forecast, again, is set at $12.39 billion, so even more than what we're set for today, and its earnings per share is set even higher. So again, this is all because Nvidia itself, during its earnings call, set the expectation so high, right? So will they follow through with that expectation and continue to innovate the market, especially when it comes down to the semiconductor chips that they're using for AI? Or is it going to be a bust, right? Are they not going to meet expectation and crumble under pressure, right? Obviously, we wish nothing but the best for the market. Market has pulled on back for the past 2.5 weeks, and I feel like this might be the determining factor for the overall market, other than what we have going on with the Fed meeting this Friday. So excited to see which way it actually ends up going. So what's up? So it is scheduled exactly at 10 or 10:20. I have seen that it's like about 20 minutes after the market closes that it's set to report earnings. So definitely something to take into consideration, that it might actually take some time before they actually report earnings. All right. Here it goes. Just took someone from the HQ for a ride in the M4. He had the best reaction. Love that. Yes, Cerritos. All right. Yes, here we go. Nvidia stock is about to report earnings. It might be 20 minutes after the market closed. I just wanted to make sure that we were live just in case it does get released. But yeah, it's set for 4:20. LOL. Yeah. Let's do a quick little poll. So will Nvidia NVDA meet? All right. There should be a little poll that is popping up for you guys. Looks like we're already beginning to see markets move. Just very slightly, right? Not too much. Again, we have Nvidia stock up here. So do you think that Nvidia will drop? So will AMD? Well, if Nvidia drops, then AMD will as well, right? But I'm not here to predict what. I do not know. I do not know if Nvidia is going to go up. I do not know if Nvidia is going to go down. I just know that there's really high expectations for it. And if I was so certain about anything, then I would be taking a very heavy position, right? Which, again, I'm not. So I'm waiting to see because we all know that even if it does beat expectation, if it doesn't beat it by as much as the market expected it, Nvidia stock can still drop, right? Because of what's already being factored in. So why try to overcomplicate it? Let's just keep it simple and wait for the market to react. I feel like that's the safest way. It's the boring way, but it's the safest way, right? All right, we had a nice little rip up for NASDAQ. So I have NASDAQ back here. I don't know if you guys could see it behind me, but I'm going to zoom in just so you guys can see it in the background. We have Nvidia stock on the main screen, so you guys should be able to see that. Then we have it right on over here. So current expectation is $2.07 for the earnings per share, $11.13 billion for the revenue. So, all right. 250x earnings. Yeah, I saw a video of people talking about how overvalued Nvidia stock is. I mean, we'll see. We'll see if the hype for AI is overvalued, right? Supposedly, there's a lot of demand for it, and obviously, Nvidia is just the producer for these semiconductors, which are just chips. They're just going with the flow, right? It's bringing more business, and they're just trying to keep up with it. So that makes complete sense to me. So you think that it's going to beat earnings but drop? Okay, that's an interesting one because that has happened a lot. It started happening this quarterly earnings report with, Apple, with Amazon, with Tesla. And that's one thing that I wanted to bring up, but it's been so long. I think it's been about 3 to 4 weeks since those big tech companies have reported earnings. But do you guys remember when Tesla and Amazon and Apple all reported earnings and they beat expectation, but yet the stock itself still dropped, right? Because guidance supposedly was a little bit off. So just again, I wanted to see if that same momentum continued for when Nvidia reported earnings. But you have to understand, I mean, Nvidia is kind of like, not kind of, it's, if I'm not mistaken, it's the stock itself that has seen the biggest increase that is in the $1 trillion market cap for 2023. If you look at Nvidia and where it's currently at versus where it was at the start of the year, I think it's 240% of a gain, right? 240%, 234%. Think about that. We're not talking about a penny stock. We're talking about one of the most valuable companies that is publicly traded. Obviously, this recovery is coming from one of the worst, years following 2022. But it is. I mean, there's a lot of hype behind AI. There's a lot of demand for AI. And it looks like it brought a lot of demand for Nvidia. So will the hype continue? I think that's the big question. And will they follow through with the proper execution and future guidance for, this current demand? Yeah, people keep telling me on how it's actually pronounced. Is it NVIDIA? I don't care. Nvidia, who cares? Doesn't matter. You guys know what I'm talking about. It's on the screen. I want to call it NVDA. It's going to sound like a drug. Do you have a position? Nope. I am choosing to stay cash. Again, that's one thing that I talk about very often, especially to our beginner traders that are part of LPP. First off, just because I do something doesn't mean that you need to. I've experienced it enough with these earning reports that I don't like to play them. I like to wait to react, right? There's this saying that we have of I would rather be late to a rally than early to a sell-off. So it really comes down to just the way that you want to approach the market. I'm not here to say the way that I do it is the best way. I would say it tends to be just a little bit more on the conservative side of things, right? I try to be a little bit more careful, especially because I have a lot of beginners that watch me. If I was super aggressive, then maybe other people would be super aggressive. And that's just not the way that I personally want to approach the market. So waiting for it to react. If it begins to sell off, I might consider shorting. If it begins to rally, I might consider going long. So excited to see. Not one lucky share. Maybe I'll I'm going to do one lucky share shorting Nvidia. Ready? So I have to turn it on after market hours, right? You have to turn on EXT. You ready for this? Oh, get back over here. I'm chasing you. There we go. Remember, position size, position size, position size. And here it goes, already beginning to indicate signs of an uptrend. Look at this. I mean, to my understanding, Nvidia stock was not supposed to report earnings just yet, but I'm really glad we didn't listen to everyone else, because everyone else was saying that it was going to be at 20 minutes after the market opened. There it goes. Look at that. Huge gap up. I'm going to have fun with it. Ready? It's up 5%. What did it come in at? Has it actually reported? Is this it? I do not see it on my side. Oh my God. I don't understand. I thought it was supposed to be at 120. Breathing hard on the mic. I do that all the time. I have like a congestion problem. I'll put the mic a little bit further away. Look at that. Oh my goodness. Who gave Nancy the early preview? I like that. I like that. Again, for those that are tuning on in for the first time, we do want to remind you that we do have the Nancy Pelosi teas, the Inside Trader of the Year. So again, we do have this available at shoptechbuds.com, as well as with the Buy the Dip and the Thrillionaire and a bunch of other Wall Street teas, different pieces of art that you see behind me. This is all available at shoptechbuds.com. It all ships out from sunny Arizona. And again, it's the fourth link in the description down below. You guys can use promo code GUS if you want a Nancy Pelosi tea, and you'll get 30% off your entire order. That would be GUS as in GUS. AI at work. That is correct. Let's check it out. Look at that. Ballin' with my 5 shares shorting Nvidia. Ricky, stop shorting. It's ruining the market. Yep, I'm sure my 5... How many shares do I have? 6 shares shorting. Again, they're just for fun. People tuning on in right now are probably like, what the heck? I mean, 6 shares are literally, it's just for fun. Here we go. Yep, ticker symbol GUS and GUS, GUS. We had a guy that complained about our Nancy Pelosi tea. He said he got offended by it. So we made a coupon code with his name for anyone that wanted to buy the tea, and they get 30% off. So thank you, Gus. 30% off on you. All right, yep, we got 10 minutes left. If it's not too much to ask, I know it's asked by you often, especially when you watch different YouTubers. If you guys could consider dropping a thumbs up, I love hosting these live streams for you guys. Obviously, you don't have to, but obviously it means a lot to the YouTube channel. And if you can, please consider subscribing if you feel like we earned it. If I complain, can I have my name on it? Of course. Why is it always someone with that name, Gus? I know. I mean, I won't say anything mean. Here it goes. Done. Subscribe. I appreciate that, Bright One. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for the thumbs up as well. back to 450. You think we're going to retrace? This reminds me, again, I've hosted these before with the people that follow me here on the YouTube channel. Is this not very similar to Apple earnings, right? Can I get a show of hands? Do you guys remember what happened with Apple when it reported earnings? It was running up right before it was actually released. And do you remember what happened after it reported earnings? Huge gap down, right? And that was the start of the market actually selling off. So obviously patterns tend to repeat themselves. They don't always have to. This is completely separate from Apple itself. But when big companies like Apple even end up missing earnings, or they come in a little bit lower than expected, remember, we had Amazon, Apple beat expectation, but yet they still sold off when they reported earnings. Tesla beat expectation, but they still sold off when they reported earnings. So I appreciate that, James. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Doesn't look like we're showing much signs of progress here. I'd love to add more. I mean, I'm just doing this for fun when it comes down to the short position, but we'll see. Maybe I will end up shorting if we end up actively selling off, right? We'll go in with like what, 100 shares? What would that be? 40,000? Yeah. Again, I don't plan to be super aggressive today, but I would trade with about 40 to 50K on either side, right? I would, if you're an absolute beginner, probably not something that's recommended for you to maybe trade during earning reports. They're very volatile, and with great volatility comes great responsibility. Yes, you can make a lot of money, but you can also lose a lot. Again, you're going to see from my YouTube channel, I mean, I like to talk about both sides. I like to talk about the potential, but I also like to make you aware of the risk, right? I feel like you should never just be so one-sided. At that point, you're really just being hopeful. Buy the rumors, sell the news. So the red light special, Delta off. I mean, you're right. We should change the light right now. Should we not? We should change it neutral. We should change it neutral, and neutral is... It's not changing. Here we go. One sec. All right. There it goes. So right now we're neutral. We're yellow. Oh, purple. What do you guys want? Orange. Turn up the green light. We'll let you guys decide. Or should we do an effect? Let's see. Here it goes, finding support. Looks like, again, we have 5 minutes left until Nvidia is set to report earnings. So just a heads up on that. Oh, we are yellow. The higher you are, the harder you fall. That is correct. I mean, it's hard to fall if you're not, right? For all the people that are in AMC, it's hard to lose anything more when you've lost it all, right? All the AMC from what, $72 a share all the way down to $2. It has to be green today, right? If you're new to the channel, you get, oh no, who would have thought? It's at 23, it lost 23% today. Oh my goodness. Oh, if there's a goal of something not to be like, it's definitely going to be the AMC people. Look at this. From highs of $44.61 all the way back down to $1.95. We are at the lowest point that we've been since the initial rally, and it makes perfect sense, right? It's a shitty company. Therefore, has shitty stock performance. It's not rocket science. It's pretty simple. AMC was a 10-to-1 reverse stock split. That's what it looks like. But guess what? You didn't get any more shares with that reverse stock split. You just lost it. All right, guys, we have less than 3 minutes left for the market to react to Nvidia reporting earnings. Okay. What about GameStop, Ricky? It's all the same. I just like picking on the AMC people. When I used to day trade AMC when it was going up, and they hated when I would day trade it. They said because I was ruining the moment. But I knew I didn't want to hold it, right? Why would I want to hold a shitty company? It just doesn't make sense. And then I started shorting it on the way down, and they got really offended. But again, don't hate the player, hate the game, right? We're just here to make money just like everyone else. It's what we're in this market for. Not here to make friends with other people who own the same stock or trade the same. I don't care, right? We all have the same goal here, and it's to make money. It's not overcomplicated. Right? This is why for all of our beginner traders that are part of LPP, I always tell them, focus. This is a market. This is a profession where you want to be selfish. You want to focus on yourself. This is not a team sport, right? When it comes down to you being a part of our LPP team, of course you want to look out for the new trader, as in you can share from your experience what has worked and what hasn't. But at the end of it, you're here to trade for yourself. That's what it is, right? No reason to overcomplicate it. So, and there it goes. Alrighty. Also, for those that we have less than 2 minutes left, so it's going to be really cool to see. It's going to be interesting to see after this report how the market reacts, and then how the market trades tomorrow, right at market open. Will it continue to be as bullish as it is, or is it going to be a lot of selling pressure? So we will see. And guys, we have less than 50 seconds left. So one of the things that I love to say right before a company like this reports earnings is do something now or forever hold your peace. Make sure you drop a thumbs up on this video, and make sure that you subscribe, especially if you're absolutely new to the market. I'd love to be of value to you. And if you ever have any questions, just feel free to shoot me a direct message, and everything is linked in the description down below. You can shoot me a direct message via Discord or via Instagram, which is the first or third link down below. All right, we have 20 seconds left. 20 seconds before Nvidia is set to report earnings and the market reacts. I have QQQ, which is NASDAQ back here, and I have Nvidia on the screen. Do something now or forever hold your peace. And there it goes. 3, 2, 1. Boom. Oh, I feel like this is like the Oppenheimer, right when the nuke is about to go off. This is what we're waiting for to observe. Are we going to take off? Oh, come on. All right, let's see. We hit previous highs of 478, but something is telling me that if this thing begins to take off, that is nothing in comparison to what Nvidia can actually see highs of. But of course, right, if it doesn't meet expectation, get ready for a red rocket going straight down. Ooh! Oh my goodness, I can't even see it. It went up so high. 6%, 7%. Oh my, that was the quickest. All right, I'm going to put my short in though. Let's see. Ooh. Oh my goodness. Wait, what's going on here? It looks like it's struggling. Oh no, it is. It's going to be very similar to Apple earnings. No freaking way. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Let's keep it up here. 5%, 5%. Here it goes. I'm keeping it small, right? 10 shares at a time. It's about 4,700. Again, friendly reminder, this is not something that you want to get into, especially if you're newer to trading. Trading an earnings report is very, very risky, so please be aware of that. Market is still digesting it. It doesn't look like it has that same momentum. Let's see it. All right, added another 10 shares to this short. Let's see. If it ends up making new highs, I will have to accept the change of direction and accept the L, right? Nothing wrong with that. Loss is part of the process. Our job is not to avoid risk. Our job is to manage it. 13 billion, is that what was reported? Let's pull it up. There it goes. 2.7 earnings per share, 13.51 billion. But why is it not taking off? The guidance must be a little off, wouldn't you say? At $500. $500 per share. It's where it's at right now. Was it already factored in? Look at that. It surpassed all of this. It is at all-time highs. And there it goes. Going back to retest previous highs. It's up 6.3% on the day. Are we going to do it? New highs? What do you guys think? I made $500 and I sold so fast. I like that. Congratulations. I mean, you did your part in locking in profits. I mean, can it continue to run? Of course. I mean, that is an amazing earnings report. If you guys look at it, I mean, that's quite significant. Not just it beating expectation, but this is what I find to be most impressive. It went from a 92-cent earnings per share expectation to coming in at 2.7. I mean, we're talking about 3 times greater of what it was expected to report the last quarter. And that's because of, again, all of this demand from AI. Nvidia stock looks like it's here to stay based off of what it's reporting, right, from its previous quarter. All right, it's time to change the light. And here it goes. Watch for new highs. We are green. I'm going to have to cover this short. So when it comes down to shorting, you buy to cover. So let's see if it continues that progress. We're at 509, 510, 509.70, 510, 510. Let's see it. 8% on the day. Wow. Like that. 511, 512. This move is insane. But again, this is the beautiful thing about position size, right? I mean, by keeping it small, you lose small. And for those that are unaware, you might be saying, Ricky, that's still a lot of money. I agree. Losing $1,000 is still a lot of money in the grand scheme of things, right? But with the overall idea of, I mean, what I tend to trade with, being down less than $1,000 is something much easier for me to be able to tolerate. It still sucks. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It definitely still sucks. It still means that I was on the wrong side of a trade. I took it more as a joke. But again, it's early on, right? I like this. Looking spicy. Looking spicy. Here it goes. Testing support. Watch for an ascending support. I'm going to buy to cover here. Told you to hold coming down. Don't buy back. I see. No, I'm not doing this because that's what you're saying. I'm just saying that if that's what you said. Again, I trade based off of my own decision, not yours. But I appreciate you looking out for me. As of right now, it is looking pretty spicy over here. I just want to see lower lows. I want to see us break below that $500 support. Right, that's where we're at right now. $500. Or would the safer idea be close to cover, keep losses very small, And then if we do break below, then go in for a re-entry. Not a bad idea. A little bit more on the conservative side, right? Because it means I need to take more trades, but I'm closing it out when it makes sense, because it could try to rip up right now, right? This is fun. What do you guys think about this? Is this as expected? This was pretty dope. Would you not say? I mean, it, literally in 1 minute, it gapped up 6%. I'm trying to think when is the last time I've seen something move that quick. It was very, very impressive, and rightfully so. Nvidia is doing one hell of a job. It's revenue, it's earnings per share. All jokes aside, I mean, anyone can say anything that they want about Nvidia stock, that it, we were talking about it today, that it's overvalued. It's one heck of a company. It is. And I think out of many companies that are, reporting earnings, and then like you see what their expectation is, but what their value is, Nvidia is a company that, relatively in comparison to the other companies, has really been taking over the marketplace by storm. And I think that's great. Made an extra $200 on Nvidia. I like that. Congratulations. Many other stocks have moved like that. Oh, obviously. Come on, Sherlock. I'm talking about with big tech companies that have reported earnings, right? When you're talking about $1 trillion market cap, it's a different like type of stock, right? I'm not talking about the AMC bullshit. I'm talking about Nvidia, or I'm talking about Amazon, or I'm talking about Apple. So yeah. All right. Do you think that Powell speaking Friday will also move the market? I think Powell is probably one of the most influential people that can. I think what he says is more significant to the market than what our president can say. Obviously, unless something is said about going into war or something, right? And then the president announces that. But I would say right now, because such a big focus is around monetary policy, that Jerome Powell is one of the most influential people right now in our marketplace, or in our space when it comes down to the overall stock market. And here it goes, going back up to retest, testing 510 a share. PE ratios are going to be popping. Oh, yeah. Man, this secondary green light is hurting me. It's supposed to be white. Nope, wrong one. Golly. Feel extra bright today. There we go. Yeah, no, this is incredible for the bulls. We got NASDAQ market up another 0.75%. To my understanding, guys, can you guys correct me? But there's an earnings call for Nvidia, right? And it's normally about 2 hours after it reports earnings. So that's the second part to this that we need to take into consideration, that it could begin to have a second wave of a potential bull run, or a second wave of a potential pullback, right? We've seen this happen before. We just have to be pretty careful, right? See, it's rejecting. It's consolidating. I mean, it's up 7 to 8%. We got to give, right? Just like anything. Anything at one point can become overvalued if the demand is no longer there. I'm sure at some point it would eventually reach there. I don't know if it's going to be now, but yeah, it is showing signs of a slight resistance. It doesn't mean that it has to correct itself. It can consolidate here all aftermarket, right? And that's something that you must take into consideration. So call starts in 30 minutes. Okay. So we're going to leave it at that. Alrighty, guys. So we are testing that same resistance right around 510 for Nvidia. We got the NASDAQ market up 0.72%. So pretty significant day. I mean, not pretty. It's, again, not the most significant day, right? We didn't gap up 20% like we did last time for Nvidia stock, but it was a well-earned day. Nvidia stock completely blew it out of the water when it comes down to their actual revenue and earnings per share. Beating expectation of $2.07, being reported at $2.70, and revenue coming in at $13.5 billion with the expectation of $11.13. I've seen a lot of close earnings. That is definitely not a close earnings. That is a spectacular earning, and very excited to follow up with its continued success. The big focus that I would have right now is what is its guidance for up and coming quarters? Has demand shifted? Has demand stayed the same? Has demand increased? This is something that you're going to want to pay attention to during their earnings call. And if you begin to see a second wave of demand, either for the bulls or for the bears, just know that it's probably something that was said during the earnings call. And if something significant happens, I'll make sure that I follow up with another video here on YouTube. So again, all we literally ask you to do is to subscribe if it's not too much to ask. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope that we earned your thumbs up. And friendly reminder, we will be going live this Friday because of the Jackson Hole meeting that is going on with Jerome Powell. So it's Friday, about 35 minutes after the market opens. Jerome Powell is going to be speaking at the 2023 Jackson Hole Economic Policy Meeting. So if you want to watch that, all you literally need to do is subscribe to the channel, turn on your post notifications, and we will notify you when it is that we go live. So all of our traders that are part of LPP, I know that this is a small trade, but I'll keep you up to date if I end up closing out the short, or if I end up adding more to it and then locking in profits at what I see to be oversold levels. So I really do appreciate you guys' time. If you guys want to be able to watch me trade live as soon as tomorrow, that is going to be the second link in the description down below. I do trade live with one team and one team only, and that is my Learn Plan Profit team. You don't have to be a part of it, but kind of like you got to see me trade live today, you get to see my entries, you get to see my exits, but most importantly, you get to hear my thought process behind every trade and every move the market makes. So if you see value in that, if you saw that you felt a little bit more aware of what was going on because of my commentary, that is exactly what you will experience every single morning right at market open. If you want to learn more about it, again, we're running our biggest sale. It's the second link in the description down below. I appreciate your time. I hope that earned a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing. And like always, let's make sure that we end the year on a green note. Take